Well, I
I
wasn't going to
figured.
blur my background, but now I guess I have to. Go on, hurry up, get out of here.
Get.
Close that. Snacks are in the pantry. Dry stores for snacks. Yeah, get out of here. Go on, scat.
Don't you put a lock on the door? Or is it even a door? It's
I'm
not
in
even a door, it's
I'm
just
in
a
the living
hallway.
room. I'd have to lock all the doors.
Yeah, lock everybody in their room. It's a dungeon time.
Dungeon time.
Dungeon time. Actually, you know what you should do? Say whoever can stay in their room the longest gets $5.
Dude, they know $5 doesn't buy shit. They put 20.
$10. $20. That would be
1,000 V-Bucks.
Ooh, 1,000 V-Bucks? That goes a long way.
I'd stay in a room for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I'd win.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Evening Gaming. With me, as always, is Soup My, Rock's Heart, and me, Sleepy. We hope everyone's having a wonderful holiday season, and we just didn't want to miss a podcast this week. How are you guys doing?
Good enough. You know, Christmas around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Family, food, presents,
Eggnog.
the full nine. Eggnog.
Look at that. Look at that stacked tree in the background.
Yeah.
Those are actually outgoing gifts. Those don't belong to anybody here.
Yeah, we don't get presents here. That's
Do your
for
kids still
everybody
do Santa?
The two younger ones still do. That's actually a pretty funny story if we want to get into that later. How the oldest one figured it out.
else. I caught my dad. I caught my dad straight up. I was like, I walked in there around midnight, and he was just there. He was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like, "I'm just getting some water. What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just waiting for Santa." Like, I don't know. Why you got those in your hand? Why are you putting them under the tree? Okay, sure, Santa. And then just moved along, went to bed. You know, I put things together later, but yeah, it was they didn't have to spoil it for me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was like when I went to, like my parents got divorced when we were young, and I went and visited my dad for Christmas for the first time. And like we got off the plane and got in the car, and he was like, "So you guys know Santa's not real, right? We need to keep the magic for the younger ones." I was like,
Oh no.
Yeah, we knew that. We're cool. Yeah.
I'm an adult. I swear. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's real sad.
But I mean, that was a pretty good Christmas because that was I think I was like 10. I don't know how old I was, but it was my first time ever seeing an N64, and I played Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the first time. Like that Christmas, like we went hiking a couple times and hung out with family, but I think a solid 6 hours of every day was me and my cousin playing Legend of Zelda for like a week.
I think
And it was
that was
great.
my first console too, and I got that for Christmas. I got a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, me and my brother, and we had Mario Kart. And we had Pokemon Stadium. I think we were really big into Pokemon at the time. It was kind of like we got this. I had a Game Boy at the time, but I didn't really like. I had Pokemon or whatever, but like I liked that, but I didn't like game. I wasn't gaming or whatever. But I got the Nintendo 64, and then that was my parents bought me that, and then the year after that, my uncle got me his. He had an old SNES that he gave to me and my brother with like 20 games that he already had, and so that was a cool gift. And like having those two in the household, like that pretty much launched like my gaming lifestyle. Like me and my brother, I remember we had Super Mario Brothers, the Super Mario Brothers 2, whichever one was for the SNES. We had that one, and we played that back and forth religiously. My brother actually was the first one to beat it before I did. I was not great at games back in the day. He seemed to have more of a competitive edge than I did, but we had that. We played Mario Kart on the 64, and then I was just totally obsessed with Pokemon. Got that AU Pikachu game for the 64. We also rented.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
my parents very rarely bought 64 games. Most of the time we rented them from Blockbuster, like the store down the road. So I did a lot of rentals up until like the GameCube generation. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You know,
it
like
was,
Blockbuster used to be the shit. Like they used to have that plan where you paid like $10 a month, and you could go in, pick up a game, and when you were done, no matter how long it was, you just bring it back in, grab another game.
Yeah.
Like I stacked my Xbox 360 gamer score by just one day at a time,
Really?
play as much as I could out of a game, and then swap.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
great.
I mean the Blockbuster was farther away, but like I would get the N64 games from this other like mom and pop place, and like I got Zelda for the first time. I played that for a weekend, Ocarina of Time, and I was mind blown. I was like, this is crack. And
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't finish it over the weekend, and I had to bring it back, and then I was like, Mom, I need that game again. I need that game again. And then
need it.
I made a friend at school that like I had just moved. We had just moved to Santa Barbara and Santa Barbara, California, and like I was going to school, and all I knew was like I just played Zelda recently. I was like, that's all I knew, and a kid was talking to me about it, and like we became friends and bonded over Zelda because and he lent me his copy because I couldn't rent it again. They let me borrow his. I started over, but like still like if it
Oh yeah,
wasn't for that Nintendo 64 that I got for Christmas, I would not be here doing what I'm doing. 100%.
oh yeah.
Cascading, Zelda, and all that other stuff. But like
hmm
good memories with the Christmases and video games.
See, so there was that Christmas, and besides that, that was also my first introduction to Smash Bros. So I was trying to figure out what my
I
best
see.
character would be. I think back then it
Mhm.
was Luigi, as much as I wanted Link, because like I had just played Ocarina of Time, and it was the coolest thing ever. I just want to get good at Link, but I was trash.
Yeah.
Now Link is one of my mains, but
Yeah, I did Link in the original Smash Brothers.
mm,
It was Link, and then in Melee it was Link and Young Link, and then Toon Link, obviously, and then I
mhm,
think I didn't start straying away from. I mean, I still main Toon Link right now in the modern one. Like whenever someone comes at me, I'll present with Peach. I'm really good with Peach. It's really scary, but I'll start with that. If you get through the Peach, then you can fight. Sometimes you fight Marth, or you'll just fight Toon Link, and then it's a smash. It's like I do things with that kid that I can't even get good enough. Like I'm so good with Toon Link that I can't even replicate that level of skill with another character. Like I've tried to get good with Sora and like really like work his kit, but
mhm.
still I can do magic with Toon Link. Like I'm not like a pro or anything, but like watch out.
Yeah.
Watch
Like
out.
I mean, I haven't smashed in a long time. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Yeah, you got for the Switch we smash right now, man.
I
Smash
don't know.
right
My
now.
Switch, I think it got lost in the move, dude. I don't know.
Wow,
I
that's
got my
something else
daughter's
that I
Switch,
wanted to hear.
but yeah, and it was
Yeah,
sweet
man.
too
Yeah,
because you can go online, you can buy the replacement cases. So I got a clear case for it, like the OG systems. It's
Oh.
awesome. But yeah, I main and Smash. I specifically learned how to play as the characters that annoyed me most to annoy other people. So
Jigglypuff.
my main annoyance characters are Duck
We
Hunt,
fit.
Wii Fit Trainer, and Villager.
Yeah, we
Oh
fit.
yeah,
Decimate
Villager is a
people.
beast. A
Well, Wii
beast.
Fit
Well, that's
like to
why.
taunt. I'll just duck. I'll duck and walk forward, and they do
Yeah,
like she does like a half burpee to like walk across
yeah.
the map, just piss people off, and then like stretch it out for her
Mm.
taunt. I'm like,
Like that's what I use. Like I'll start. Like I don't use Peach anymore because they have Daisy in now. Because Mario Kart, I always played Daisy. Ever since Double Dash came out, I played Baby Bowser and Daisy. Odd combination, but it's what I rolled with. And then Daisy was always it because Baby Bowser was in it or not, depending on whichever one you're playing.
I didn't.
But what?
Oh, I was gonna say. I was just gonna tell me a little bit about Nintendo game.
do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
I thought you were pausing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just rolling, man. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say. I didn't really get Nintendo exposure until like. I mean, I had a GameCube or a Game Boy Color in like third, fourth, fifth grade. I don't know that ballpark.
Mhm. Yeah.
90. What Yellow came out in 97,
96 or 97.
96,
I
97,
think it's
something like that.
97. I think it might be
Yeah, I think it
97.
was 97. And that's when I got into Pokemon. But really, my dad used to play a lot of video games, and so he had like the SNES or the NES, I think, just the original one, and then he had the PlayStation 1. But again, right, I didn't really spend a lot of time on those until sixth grade. We got the PlayStation 2 ish in that time frame, somewhere in there. Maybe it was a little bit later than that. I don't know, but I remember setting that up because that was after I realized that Santa Claus wasn't real. And so then
Mm.
my dad, it was actually that year we got it for my brother, and so my dad let me stay up and help set it up, like as Santa.
For Christmas? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and so we got to mess with all the new settings and stuff. And
Dang.
that's my
Turning it on for the first time and it's screaming at you.
To think about the PS2 being state of the art is funny to think about. Like looking back on it now is like this is new generation mind blowing graphics. It's like they were mind blowing at the time, but like now you go back and you're
Yeah.
like, damn, what the fuck is that?
I tried playing
Yep.
Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers recently
Not
on
as good.
PlayStation 2. I busted it out, plugged it all in, and oh my gosh, like I'm sitting there like, what? And the kids are like, Dad, how did you play this? And I was like, I don't know. Let's play something else.
So that's one thing I watched a video on a couple weeks ago. Was like how an art style can remain. I think I talked about it also a couple weeks ago. How art style can remain timeless and kind of like preserve the
Mhm.
quality of the game with the art style. And they
Wind
specifically
Waker.
used Wind Waker and the Two Towers as a perfect example. Because yeah, at the time when Twin Towers came out, it was literally like mind blowing graphics, state of the art.
Excellent.
Like they were using like they used actual voice actors for the game.
That
They
was my favorite part.
used like pseudo live action CG in-game graphic type like didn't they do like transitions from like cutscenes to
Dude,
like
that's what I was
gameplay?
gonna say. Yeah, like that's my favorite. I still think of that, right? When she's
Yeah.
like telling that little thing, like I could feel it in the water, and then it goes and she's telling the story about the Battle of Mordor, with Elrond and Isildur, right? And the orcs are coming down and they clash with the elves. As the elves slice their blades up, it transitions from live action to game. And I remember as a kid, I was like, "Oh, yes!" And then you take over, right? Like right there, transition to the game, and then you're in it.
Yep.
And I'm like, "Oh, I'm here!" And it was so crazy.
I mean, at the time I'm sure if they had like an art style that was like timeless, then it might still be just as good. But yeah, when you like even when I'm playing some old PS2 games, like playing an actual copy. Actually, perfect example. I had after Dread came out, I went and tried to rebuy all of the Metroids that I get my hand on. I got my hand on Corruption 3 for the Wii, and I bought like a HD conversion port for my TV for the Wii that my wife has. Hooked it all up, turned on Corruption 3 on the HD TV at 1080, and it's like washed out as fuck. Like it
Yeah,
is
that was the problem.
hard to look at.
Yeah.
Really
So
hard to
on the
play.
smaller, older TVs, right, that I grew up playing the PlayStation 2 on, it was fine because it was
Mhm.
also like the style of TV. But I was trying to play it on that thing in the background, big,
Yeah.
HD, whatever, and it was just like super. It was hard to play. So it's
Well,
fine when I plug
Yeah.
it into smaller stuff, but
Mhm.
If
man
you want to
alive.
do retro gaming, like you really do need to get a CRT TV. Like I've been
Yeah,
trying to find one.
true.
I have a CRT computer monitor because I'm trying to
Mhm.
build like a Windows 95 machine because I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But
There's a
yeah, you
lot of
need a
games you can't
CRT
play anymore.
TV. Yeah, well, it'd be a Windows 95 machine, but like I'll have actual Windows 95 installed on it, and I've researched. It'll be cool.
Nice.
Like a lot of the
Really fun.
problem with those games and the HD graphics is like CRTV would like blur the hard edges on the pixels. Like obviously the pixels weren't like you'd have more in a pixel now than you did back then, but that blurring on like the static would help blur the lines around so that things don't look so rigid and kind of look more blended and not
Oh
sharp.
yeah.
And
I
that's
don't
why
know.
you get
Laura
those.
Croft's chest
Okay, that well,
was still pretty triangular. You can't
yeah,
round
no, you
that.
can't deny that, but
I'll take it.
they didn't have enough space on the disc to make those as HD as they wanted to. So that's what that was. But
Well, I
yeah,
just
it
remember
definitely
like
helped.
so the first Silent Hill, playing it on PS1, like on actual hardware on a CRT TV, the fog is epic. But then as
Mhm.
soon as you play like an emulated version or on an HD TV, you can see like distinct layering between in the fog, you know.
So
And
Yeah.
they
it's just a
actually
thing.
did
Yep.
that. The fog in those older games was there because of rendering. Like the fog,
Mm.
like you go back and look at the old Zelda, even the 64 games, they
Oh
all
yeah.
had like that ominous
That
fog in the
fog.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The draw
That was
distance.
Yeah, that was where the game was actually rendering the map in front of you. Because if it had to actually render the whole thing, it wouldn't have enough space to render all of it back there. So they had this layer of
Hmm.
fog, which is why the Switch ports right now for that subscription for the Nintendo subscription yearly thing. They have the
Mhm.
Nintendo 64 pack on there now. So if you pay like $24 for a year, you get Nintendo games. You get 64 games now. Well, all those are emulated, and they're not like independently debugged and combed through. They're just kind of slapped on an emulator and thrown out. It's like half the games are missing the fog, and it's like it looks not great.
Yeah,
Not
well, even with the new Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition that came
Yeah,
out,
that too.
the Grand Theft Auto 3, you could see clear
Mhm.
across the other side of the map. When in the
And
real
it makes
game,
it
you could hardly
small.
see 2 blocks over. You know.
Yep, they really screwed the pooch on that.
Yeah,
There
but
a lot of They did a lot of tricks back in the day to make us think that worlds were bigger than they actually were. It's kind of crazy the
mhm.
kind of technology they had and the kind of magic they'd get to play that I don't think a lot of
Well,
developers nowadays get to work
that
with.
and those tricks became part of the game. Like you guys were
Mhm.
just saying, like those tricks. Now that we don't need them, they get rid of them in the remastered versions, and you're like, "Eh, this game's kind of
Mhm.
put the fog back, hide some of this."
Yep.
You know?
When we're done with this podcast, Daniel, you need to look up the Ocarina of Time Unreal Engine 4.
I think I
There's a
saw some of those videos, but
Yeah. Well, there's
yeah,
a
those
dude,
look
he's
awesome.
remaking it. He hasn't been stopped by Nintendo yet. Well, Nintendo told him to stop
We'll see.
posting his download link, but you can still
Mhm.
get it.
Yeah,
But he's been working on it, and it's amazing.
I need to
Like,
see
you
that. I
thought the
haven't
3DS version was badass. It's
I saw
insane.
the one where he's in an open field, and I think I saw the
Temple of Time or Kokiri
no,
Force.
yeah, I saw the Temple of Time. Yep, I saw that one. But I haven't seen anything since then. That's one thing about Nintendo. They really do not like people like messing with their stuff, and it's
Nope.
kind of annoying because they have such a grapple hold on all their IPs that they rarely let third party developers even work on their stuff. They literally recently started doing that in the last 5 years. But other
Yeah.
than that, like having a demand, like there was a remake of Metroid Prime 2 that had come out a couple of years ago that a fan had actually made from the ground up just about, and it was amazing. Like some people say it is one of the best Metroid games ever made, even though Nintendo didn't make it. But they got a cease and desist, and they got shoved into the ground for making that game. It's like
Yeah.
anything with Nintendo's name on it, and you're fucking with it outside of their permission, they will go after you for.
Oh man, the
Uh-huh.
emulators, the old like Pokemon like blue and yellow and red. So like
Mhm.
for years, I played that as a kid, but then once those were gone, nothing. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't go back and play those games. You couldn't find them anywhere, right?
Mhm.
There was no remakes of them, anything. And so I remember like playing them on. You would have to like the old phones. You'd have to like jailbreak them and shit, right, in
Yeah.
order to get like third party apps on like the iPhone. And I remember
Yep.
getting a Game Boy emulator just to play that. And then like I remember like one day after like 6 months, all the Pokemon
Yeah.
shit was gone. They found
Mhm.
it and purged.
I would use I had a PSP, a jailbroke PSP, and I would have Nintendo games on there and do that.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
I
Okay,
thought
I
it
got a
was
question
really
for you guys.
cool. Yeah.
What?
No,
So
after we're done with this, I got a question. Go ahead. So you
Oh, okay.
go ahead.
I was just saying back in the day, I had the very first iPhone, and I unlocked it, and I thought I was super cool for being able to play all my
Hacker Man.
emulators on
Wasn't that a
Hacker
fun feeling?
Man.
Pretty much growing up, I made it my goal where if I got a new device, I would jailbreak it
Damn.
however I can. I even the first generation Switches, I think it was like the first year running of them. There's a hack you can do. Like you could buy a 3D printed bit online for like $10, but you take your right Joy-Con out and you slide this thing in, and it grounds two of the pins for the controller port to put it into a recovery mode, and you can install Android on your Switch. So I installed Android on my Switch
Whoa.
so I could do emulation on the Switch. It's perfect.
Damn.
And you can even unplug the controllers and use them wirelessly.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
a whole podcast we could do is hacks.
Techie
Oh my
stuff.
Game
gosh.
hacks.
Danger.
We
Danger.
could talk about the Xbox and the original
I didn't
Xbox.
do the hacks. Okay, we won't do it now, but the only hacks I ever got into
We'll get
were
there.
like the Halo mods,
Mm.
the flying warthog and shit like that, unlimited rocket launchers. Like that's really it.
Game Shark. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I do have a
That's
bit
actually
of thinking about that. Like, so think, you know how pissed off we get when like people are like hacking and breaking the games. You know, it's like, oh, what the thing, you're ruining it. But like, no, that was just us when we were kids. We did the same shit. But the problem is
Mhm.
now all the games are online. Like back then, we could just fuck up our PlayStation games as much as we wanted because then we just undo it and we're fine and it only affects us. But they
Yeah.
don't have that option anymore. So they still doing the same shit for the same reasons because they enjoy hacking into it. Like, oh, look what I did. I got this broken version of the game and look at all this crazy shit. But then like it affects the rest of the planet, which is the
Yeah.
shitty part.
Yeah. But yeah, for Christmas stuff.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, Christmas stuff.
So we're all adults, right? And
Yes.
you know, we buy stuff for our spouses, and our spouses get stuff for us. You know, but like really at this point, we're buying our own gifts. So what did you guys not buy for yourselves for Christmas? Like, what do you guys have that? I mean, because you know, I don't know. Are you guys waiting if you bought yourselves
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah. I am
or
waiting.
or are you letting yourself play with it?
No, I'm waiting.
Uh,
I after they came out, they announced the new PlayStation 5 controllers and whatnot, like the new colors and stuff, which I didn't think they were actually gonna do. The new shells and whatnot. I want some of those. I'm trying to get me some like lighting for this space so I'm not washed out every time. You know, I'd like a nice little gaming chair. That'd be pretty sweet. I know I got some money that my mother-in-law gave me that I think I'm gonna use to get some stuff that I want. Because yeah, I mean I buy whatever I want whenever you know I want it. Like I got toys out there all day. If I see something online, I'm like I gotta have it. I buy it. But like Christmas is kind of like the time for me to be like, you know, I don't really need this thing, but I want this thing.
Oh yeah.
So like I do like stickers, like Redbubble does stickers. I buy those. Etsy's got a bunch of like crazy cool like lights and like I'm trying to get me an Apex lamp in the background over here. Like just some cool little trinkets, some little
Etsy's a
nerd
dangerous
things.
place.
Etsy is a dangerous place, 100%. But
Mhm.
that's what I do. I like doing that for other people too. Is like I really hate giving people money or like gift cards or like
Yeah.
crap like that. Like if I'm giving you a gift card for something for a holiday, don't like that much. I know I probably shouldn't put that on record,
It means that
but
you're being forced to buy this
but
person the
it's
gift that
not
you
Oh,
not
normally
necessarily
would.
that I'm being forced, but it's either like I didn't put in the thought to get you something, or I don't know what you like. So if I'm
yeah.
like going out of my way to figure out what somebody likes and get them something that they really like, that's different. Obviously, if it's a substantial amount on a gift card, that's a different story. But like, I like to get like smaller, like even my wife, whenever I go out and I get little things that she likes. Like sad because I get things that I like that she likes. Like,
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's the best present. That was one of the first rules when I was a kid, and I remember I was trying to buy a present for my cousin.
mhm.
My mom and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what to get, and my mom's like, "If you would like to receive that, then you know it's not bad." And I
That's
was
a
like,
good
"That's a
point.
good point."
Good
See,
point. I
Right.
mean,
my mom tried pulling that on me, and I caught on. She would do that to me every year, and I'd end up getting that present. And like I caught on eventually because we went to a comic book store, and I didn't care. I was like, I didn't like my cousin anymore,
yeah.
and so she was like, "Oh, what do you think about this? Do you think he'd like it?" And it was some just terrible like Frankenstein's monster action figure. I didn't care. I was like, "Yeah, he'd like that. He'd like that a lot." And then I got it for Christmas. It was like, and every single year she would just get stuff like that. I thought my cousin would like.
Oh
That's
no.
funny. No, my mom wasn't doing that for my cousin or to buy me things. That was just mom advice.
It's also, I mean, it might be shitty to say, but like I like getting gifts like that. I don't like getting gift cards. Like
No, I don't think
obviously
anybody
I
really does.
like getting gift cards. I like spending gift cards, but like it's really cool to get a gift from somebody that you know they put some thought into.
Mhm.
Like, and especially when it lands, like when you're like, damn, that's a cool gift. I like that. You know.
The best gift I ever got from my wife, it cost me a total of like $10,
Hmm.
and it's just I went to like a craft store and I got like a necklace chain, and then I got a thimble, right, a sewing thimble, and
Hmm.
I punched a hole through the top of it with a nail, put some wire in there, right, a little thing to stop it up, put it on the necklace chain, and that she has worn it every day since, and is like the most like it literally cost me like $5 to make. But yeah, I know like when it lands, right? Well,
Yeah.
there's actually a whole backstory, right? Like it's not just a piece of trash that I
I was
made.
gonna say, it sounds like you
To
just
us, it's very
got her a piece of
sentimental.
trash. You're like, well, I didn't know what to get you, so I got you this
No,
garbage.
it's very sentimental to us because like my family calls me like Peter Pan, I guess, growing up, because like I was always the one leading all my. I had like a ton of cousins that I grew up with,
Yeah.
so I was always leading like the Lost Boys on adventures, and whenever we do family things, and I always play. And so then like when we moved here, this was like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever now. I forget what holiday it was for, but yeah, I made her that, and because like Peter Pan to Wendy, give me the kiss,
Yeah.
and it's like this whole thing between us, and so.
That's
Nice.
But yeah, but gift cards, they do have a place, but
They do
not
have a
as main
place.
presents. Like
No.
they're great
Yeah.
for stocking stuffers. Like my kids, they play Roblox, so I try to get them, stuff like that. If a person likes a certain restaurant and they don't get to go very often, getting them
Yeah.
like even like a $10, $15
Mhm.
gift card, but not as the main gift. That's the
Yeah.
point. You can use them
Yeah.
as supporting gifts. Like if you have like a $50 price limit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
For like some event, and you can only get like 35 to 40, you can fill in that gap, right? With a little bit of extra little gift card. Yeah, see, I was trying to sit there and tell you guys more, but then the kids walked in as I'm talking about what I got them for Christmas.
Oh no, awkward.
Well,
Yeah.
it's all right. Like I said, it's
Sneaky.
not the main gift. It's not the main gift.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we pretty much bought, like, for the past month and a half, we've been pretty much just buying ourselves whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
It's been a little intense, but like the biggest
how it
thing
goes.
was like my wife. I built her a computer, right, and it was like in a big Corsair gaming case,
Damn.
but she did not have enough space on her desk, and she's a writer. So I made a video review. I'll put the link down in the description, along with the gaming chair. There will be a link in the description. Weird.
Oh yeah.
So I bought this case where you could set the monitor on top, like an old school, like how we had in computer lab and stuff. And it's great. And then we got a sit to stand desk for her, so she's got all this space. And then on top of that, I bought her. It's God, what do you call them? I'll call it a book nook, but it looks like a book on the shelf, but it's hollow inside, and there's a bunch of decorations and stuff and lights. So this one, it's a bookshelf, like it's a corridor of books with it's all very intricate details. And you set it
That's
on the
cool.
bookshelf with like lights, and there's mirrors in the back, so it looks like it's a super long, winding passageway.
Oh, that's cool.
And at the very top, it says Suki's Happy Place. Oh, look. As if summoned. Crazy.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Yeah, there's the light.
That's crazy.
Let me turn it on. There it is.
That's badass.
That's an optical illusion and a half. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. It was like $200 from Italy, but
God,
I'd do
damn.
anything for her.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it looks
But
cool.
that's nothing compared to the desk and computer
Freaking
and
handcrafted.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I wish
Yeah,
I could
so-
do that crafty.
I wanted to. My plan for what I was going to buy myself for Christmas was a PlayStation 5, but both of those private invite things that Bubba sent me, both of those fell through, and so I wasn't able to. So, which honestly has been kind of bad for the pocketbook, because generally by this point of the year I've bought myself my Christmas present, so then I just get a couple little things. So I've spent a bit of money on things like Fortnite more than I wanted to. Stuff like that. Like when I was out shopping, I'd find something neat and small, be like, oh shit, it's like under $30 or whatever, and small enough to fit in a stocking. So toss that in the shopping cart when I'm But I think my big Christmas present to myself was I spent about $150 on Hot Wheels stuff. For that, I threw this big. Me and my friend Sky just last week threw a Hot Wheels party. Now I know how that sounds to anybody who's not already in the loop.
Sounds like a child.
Remote control. So Hot Wheels makes Hot Wheels sized remote control cars that fit on the Hot Wheels track. So what we did was we converted Sky's like kitchen, living room, hallway, dining room into this massive like circuit, right? And so we're like
Right.
going up and over the couches and under them and like winding around the table and coming up and under it and over and like spiraling loop-de-loops, like drag races down the hallway. And it was like we were there for, it was like a 4 or 5 hour party, and we did like this whole bracket system. So we all had these remote control Hot Wheels, and it was actually a blast. It was a lot of fun. So that was my big Christmas present to myself this year, was throwing that Hot Wheels race party with my friend, and it was a lot of
Doesn't
fun.
sound like a bad idea.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie.
It was a
Doesn't
blast.
sound
It
like a
was
bad idea.
it was really cool getting together with a bunch of other adults and not being adults for a couple hours.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, you forgot. Go talk to Jules. Jules will help you. That's my youngest. When they leave, I'll tell you guys a story of how my oldest figured. Hold on a second. Hold on. Anyways, so my kids' story, finding out that Santa Claus. So Jules was in, I want to say it was like 4th grade or whatever, and so in 4th, yeah, 3rd and 2nd. So my youngest two were in 3rd and 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, so they were all discussing whether or not Santa Claus was real. And Jules had come up with, like, honestly, a pretty intricate, elaborate, like, legitimate plan, like, experiment, right, strategy to discover whether or not Santa Claus was real. And, like, there wasn't a lot I could do to stop them from executing this thing and exposing the thing to the younger two. And
Oh,
Jules was
no.
like, this was like between 4th and 5th grade, right, that year. I don't know, maybe Jules was in 5th grade. I don't know. But anyways, I was like, oh man, all right, they're all too young, right? Like they still got, like, I was in, like, I don't know, I think it was like 6th grade when I found
Yeah.
out,
It's
because that was
about.
kind of my target zone, right? Like past that, it gets a little embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
But
When you
below
go to
that, you're
school
definitely
and
too
you
young.
don't know. Yeah.
So, they were like, it was like the night that they were supposed to execute it, and I pulled Jules aside, and so it was Christmas Eve, and I was like, all right, Jules, listen, Santa Claus isn't real. And Jules was like, I knew it. And I was like, but you can't say anything to your brother and sister, right? And you can't go through this plan. You got to come up with some way to get them out of it. So, like, I had to tell Jules Santa Claus wasn't real. That way Jules
Dang.
wouldn't spoil it for everybody.
The ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah. And so now Jules actually has fun with it. Jules, we put everybody to bed, but then Jules gets to come help eat the
Mhm.
cookies before we kick him off to
Oh,
bed.
that's cool.
And then we do Elf on the Shelf. We have like
Mhm.
this little Toby elf thing,
Yeah.
and we move it around. But some nights I forget to move it, and so Jules will come in because Jules stays up pretty late too. And it's like, Dad, you forgot to move the elf. Can I do it? And I was like, sure. So then Jules comes down and moves the elf around.
I like
Nice.
how that. Okay, I say I like. I'm mixed on how the Elf on the Shelf thing has now become like a staple in people's households.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird, but I like it.
it's gonna be like, it's not going anywhere. It's literally gonna be, kids are gonna grow up and be like, I had Elf on the Shelf when I was a kid, so you get Elf on the Shelf now. It's like, it's gonna be permanent. Like, we're not
I
getting
thought,
rid of it.
yeah, I thought for sure
I
that was
think
going
we
to come
should
and go.
bring back Krampus and the whipping stick.
Krampus?
I
Yeah.
told the kids about that.
Krampus?
Krampus. It's a
Yo,
skin in Fortnite now.
I
Did y'all
saw.
hear? They got Krampus in Call of Duty Warzone too. Apparently, they
Nice.
fucking hate him over there because what? So they have Krampus is on the map. He shows up out of nowhere. He can teleport around the area that you're fighting him in, and he takes a crap ton of bullets to kill. So
Nice.
not only do you have to murder the Krampus, but once you down the Krampus, you get a ammo crate, and hopefully don't get third party by all the bullets you just shot. So they are not having a good time with Krampus over there in Warzone, but it's funny to watch.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's an annoying challenge. It just pops up around the map like, I don't want to fight you, bro. I just don't want to fight you. Leave me alone. He's like, nah, dog. Come at me, brother. Let's go.
Well, in Fortnite, they have Santa Claus on his big rig driving around the map, throwing
Seriously?
presents at you. Yeah.
Yo, I haven't played in like
You
a
haven't
week.
played in a minute.
Yeah,
we
I
haven't
know.
done trios in a minute.
Yeah, I know. Yo, after this,
Yeah.
after the cast,
I'm like
we'll
level
play
57.
some
dog.
rounds. 57. I was like level 17.
Yeah, well, you stopped.
Yeah, I know. Well,
It's okay.
let's
You can
start.
catch up fast.
Honestly, it's
Yeah,
like not
heck
that big
yeah.
of a deal. It's just Fortnite, to be fair. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
Fortnite.
just Fortnite. Who cares? No one cares
Yeah.
that much about Fortnite.
Yeah, no one
Well,
cares.
like
I don't care.
on the scale
I
of
don't
things
care
that
at
are
all.
important, if you put something like Final Fantasy in this hand and Fortnite in this hand,
Apex and Fortnite. You can't compare Final Fantasy. It's not fair. It's not fair.
you can't compare Apex. Apex isn't worth comparing because it's kind of like not even a
The
thing
hell
to
are you
talk
talking
about
about?
anymore.
Yeah, Apex is still my king. I still love Apex, even though I don't play it as much.
I miss Apex. I wish.
Yeah, you do.
I wish
See,
you could reload. Yeah, but see, it's the new stuff.
creep
It's like
back in. What do you mean the
all
new
the
stuff?
stuff. I don't
You
know.
haven't
Like
even played the new stuff to know you don't like it.
Pre-season 5. Like we're so far past the point that I lost interest.
You're just afraid to get in there and get walloped because that's what's gonna happen.
No, I told you why I don't like Apex. I don't like
I
the
know.
person I become when I play it.
I know it does create beasts.
I yell at my kids
beasts
and
out
it's
of
not okay.
beasts out of men. That's for damn sure. You
That's
get
like me when I
heated,
used
you
to play
get
Rocket League,
turned.
which
Oh man,
I
it's
did
the
just
same.
start playing Rocket League again.
So
little
I
bit,
hear
now
more
that I have an
people
Xbox.
compare the competitive edge of Apex to Rocket League more often than I thought I would. A lot of people
Rocket
feel the
League gets
same way when they
intense.
play Apex like they do Rocket League. I think that's funny.
Especially if you're on a hot streak and like you're playing duos or trios and your partner gets in the way or just bumps you off target just a little bit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Infuriating. Well, I think that's good for now.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you all have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys do. And we'll see you next year.
Happy holidays.
See ya.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Bye.